How often do you see a microprocessor have a huge beef recall for E. coli or salmonella? But these USDA inspected plants will have a recall for 1 million pounds of ground beef, right? That's USDA inspected. It should be safer. How can this happen? Oh my God, it's because just like anything else, as you expand the size, you expand the exposure. And when you're mixing different pieces of different carcasses all together, and the human exposure as well, different employees, different people, your exposure just increases exponentially. Whereas in a custom processor, you might have 5 people work there, right? So if someone's sick, they stay home. Whereas in some of these facilities, you might have 300 people, and if one of them gets sick, they all get sick because they're just piled on top of each other.
Also, from not even just an animal welfare, human welfare, because working as a human in a large slaughterhouse destroys you mentally.
Totally.
We are not meant to. I fully believe it's okay to take the life of an animal, but it is not okay if that is all you're doing is just you spend every day, and especially the larger they get, the louder probably is. Who knows the actual quality and care of it is.
Well, they've done raids in some of those big processing facilities in Kansas, and they'll haul 300 people off that are here illegally. So they've been recruited by whoever the packing company is, brought in illegally, working, and then you look at their living conditions, like you'll have 25 people living in one single wide trailer.
Yeah.
So, half of them work the day shift, half of them work the night shift. So you're literally hot racking like you would in a submarine where, half of them sleep during the day, the other half sleep during the night, just crammed in just abhorrent living conditions.
Yeah, the very large meat packers, they're sending animals to slaughter, but they're also sending their employees to slaughter.
Totally. Yeah, and that goes back to what I said earlier about we need to have a microprocessor in every rural town.
And then
really do.
So we can talk on that, because I'm curious to hear just your thoughts on all of this, because to me, do you think it's possible, because it's so captured from that side to where having processors everywhere, I guess, how do you see it as making that feasible?
Well, and so we've already spec'd out the business plan of building a microprocessor. So doing a modular microprocessing facility that can do 10 animals a week. Combining that with wild game processing, I mean, that's the advantage of living where we live. Like this time of year, during regular hunting seasons, you have a ton of wild game processing happening as well.
Yeah.
All uses the same tools, knives and saws, packaging, all of that stuff is all the same. And we can actually cash flow that at 10 head a week, which is only 520 head a year of beef being set up to do goat, lambs, and pigs also. So, gutting cradles, all of that, scalders, all of that as well. And have 3 full-time employees and 3 part-time employees. And why you would do that is everyone would be cross-trained on every job. Everyone would know how to do everything from the kill floor all the way to final packaging. Mm-hmm. Because that's where you get in trouble in these big processing facilities, is it's so specialized. Literally,
Yes.
you're on a chain and you're doing one cut.
Yeah, that's literally all you're doing.
One cut. Whereas it's actually it's an artisanal skill that everyone used to have,
Yeah.
right? Like we would have our local.
When you see the industrial boom in the butcher shops, that's all you would. Yeah.
Totally. And now with the resurgence of a lot of these popular cuts, so these value-added steaks like picanhas and Denvers and chuck eyes, you have to have someone who knows how to do that. How to take the loin roll and extract those steaks versus just one cut on a chain. And through the value add, that's where you capture some of your income to be able to pay those skilled butchers a living wage versus literally minimum wage, like they're a cog in a machine.
Yep.
And that also gives the pride of workmanship. So if you're learning this skill and you're an artisanal butcher, you have pride in your work and you approach it differently. The other thing with that is having the processing on farm. We could do just like the Harris family, and you literally walk into the back of the processing facility. They never have to get in a truck, and they leave in a package out the front end. And so your transportation costs are less, the stress is way less, and then we can compost all the offal and reincorporate it into the pastures.
Which you also mentioned off camera that, can you explain, is it the one that's local to where they toss it all out?
All of the local processing facilities all take it to the municipal dump.
Why is that?
Well, the regulation in composting in the state of Colorado is tough.
I didn't even think about the regulation. So there's even just heavy over-regulation for composting?
Totally. Especially if you're going to use the compost to be spread on something for human consumption. There's a lot of leeway if you're just going to put it on farm fields that you're going to raise hay on. But if you're going to do compost that someone can use in their garden, there's a whole another set of regulations on it.